James Young Arter here with Mike Gaddy with Real Estate on Record. We got a special guest today from Royal Garden Suite Homes. So this is a very interesting topic today. I wanted to get into this because we were thinking about something like this a long time ago. So sorry, introduce yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
So my name is Roy. Roy Nugent. I'm one of the partners from Royal Garden Suite Homes. Royal Garden Suite Homes is made up of two individuals, Roy, myself, and Al, my partner.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's what
makes
you get,
sense.
Royal. So we've been in business only since August of last year, but we've been in business for a long time in our own rights. So Al, he's an independent contractor. He's been in business for 17 years, and myself, Roy. I call myself Roy, but myself, I'm doing mortgage finance for the last 15 years.
Nice.
So we came together. So I was going to give you an idea of how we got together, if that's cool. Yeah. So Al, he's been in the business for some time, and myself. When we found out that you're allowed to put an additional dwelling unit into your backyard, we decided to come together and form our company.
Yeah, so that was maybe a year and a half ago now, where they are allowing these ADUs or garden suites, right? Mm-hmm. And I think they started in Toronto with the Laneway House.
Yep.
That was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Exactly.
They changed I guess it's the official plan where it's allowed everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you can so you're doing. Could you explain the product?
Of course. So the product is what it is essentially is a dwelling. Okay. And our dwellings are detached from your existing homes. Okay. And the way that we do our dwellings, we do them at a container homes. However, you could do them at a sticks or you could do them at a prefab. But essentially what it is putting an additional dwelling into your backyard. Okay. So like you spoke about earlier, laneway suites, they've been around for about 4 or 5 years. Basically, that is a dwelling that you could access through a laneway behind the property. So now the difference between that and our garden suites, you could access it. There doesn't have to be a laneway behind the house anymore. You could it could adjoin to your other neighbors. You could actually access the home, the dwelling through your front yard. Right. So that's why they call it a garden suite. So back in the day, way back in the day, they used to be called granny suites or coach home suites. Yeah, but now. Yeah, they got rid of it a long time ago, and now they're bringing it back to help with this housing crisis that we're in right now.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Short for sure.
There's only so much land, right?
Yeah, there's only so much. Yeah, God's not making any more land, right? So.
And the government's making it too expensive to buy. So.
Exactly, or that too. Yeah, in Canada,
but,
as you know.
So where can you zone this? Where like how much land do you need? Like was there like certain setbacks? So what's a bin like or the container? What's the size? Is it
okay? So we
have
several, right? So there actually has to be some a minimum lot size that you could work with. So normally every municipality is different. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to talk about all of them, but they
do you know about York region?
Yeah, York region, like Vaughan, you're allowed to put them in now.
Holy shit!
So that's fairly new. That just came on board.
Yeah.
So from the house, you have to at least have, everyone again is different. So you're looking for at least 7 meters from the back of your house to the beginning of the laneway, and you have to have like a meter.
7
on
meters
each side.
is about 15 feet. What is that?
It's about 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have to have like a meter on the other side, so like 2 feet, and then a meter from the back of the house.
Oh, meter's 3 feet. So 3 feet on each side.
On each side.
Okay.
Yeah. So then what we look for when we're speaking to a client, we'll ask them how much space is your property. For our 20-foot containers, we want at least 24-foot lot. You know, so that we could work with that.
You can put it in a 20-foot like a semi-detached.
Yeah.
You can drop it in a semi's backyard.
They're allowed in semis. At first they weren't allowed in semis, but they're allowed in semis and townhouses.
But there's got to be something some sort of restrictions with parking, right? Do you need an extra parking spot?
In Toronto, every municipality is different. Yeah. But so yes, you do have to have parking like outside of Toronto. So tandem parking is okay.
Side by side, not even tandem.
Ah,
interesting.
Yeah. But in Toronto now, for our garden suites, you only need two spots for bikes. That's it. You don't need parking for just bike parking. That's it. 2 spots for bikes.
What do you do in the winter?
In Toronto. because the transit is much bigger and more, than it is in the other parts of the city. That's why it's only 2 parking spots. Yeah.
Or else you're not gonna get anything.
No, it's. I like the way they pass it. It's like just 2 bike. You can
2 bike
chain up
spots.
2
But
bikes and you're
That's
good to
very
go.
interesting, though.
Yeah.
But now, what about if you have a vehicle?
If you have a vehicle, then yeah, you could park.
But
Yeah.
how? You don't.
It depends on the lot. Every lot's gonna be different.
I see.
Yeah.
Is there a premium cost? I'm assuming.
Is there a premium for?
Premium for
Yeah, you
having the vehicle.
Or sorry, I missed
Well,
that.
well, because right now you're just specifying it on only the bikes.
He's just saying that's what the bylaw is. And
Allow.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So everyone's
Because
different.
basically, what they're doing is creating the garden suites themselves, so that they're ready. You literally crane them in. They're out of a container. They're prefab. You crane them in, and you're done, right? And then you hook up to the services.
Yep.
Of the existing.
Of the existing house.
So the entire GTA is now allowed.
Yep.
To do this.
What about outside the GTA?
It depends on the municipality. So I'll give you an idea. Guelph, Kitchener, Barrie, Welland, Hamilton, Brampton, they're allowing them.
So is it taking off? A lot of
Kawartha
people
Lake.
looking because everyone's looking. We did a little program now, obviously because of the financial strain on people with the new mortgage
Yep.
rates and stuff like that.
going
So
up.
we were trying to help people out, like market, like why don't you finish your basement? We'll put you in a contact. Obviously, hands off. We don't got our hands in the deal. Just like hold on to the property, get some rental income out of the
Yep.
basement. But why aren't people jumping into that? Or are they?
They are, and this is part of the reason why we got into the business, because
Yeah.
what we found, if you were looking to put a garden suite in, first of all, a lot of people don't know about garden suites, right? They don't know, they don't have access. It's really, really new. It's extremely new, right? But what we found was if we wanted to put a garden suite, because me and my girlfriend were investors, and we were looking at this initially because we heard that you could put a garden suite. We looked at the cost; they were expensive. Like they were like
What were they? 80, 100?
like over 250 was like the minimum.
1,000?
250,000 to put one of these things in, right? Because what they were doing, the people that we were looking at, they were doing it from sticks. So they would,
Yeah.
they would come in. Sorry about that. They would come in, and then they would do the foundation, and then they'll build it up.
Like a proper house.
The trade, yeah,
Slab on grade.
slap on grade. All that. And so the trades will come in. They'll be there for like 6 months, and then it'll be done. But it would be like $200,000-300,000 later, right? But when I was getting into the business, then we figured out like how can we make it affordable for people, and we could get maybe about 250 square feet for less than 150,000. All in, so we'll help with the.
1 bedroom or
That's a 1 bedroom. Yeah,
What's the cost per foot? What is it?
It's about $300,000. $300.
300 a foot?
Yeah, 350.
It's a lot, though, no?
I mean, but it's still under the 300,000 or 250,000 that other people were charging, right? But yeah, it is. That's typical though.
Typical. Did you
Yeah,
just
construction cost is about $300 a square foot. Right.
because the bin the storage container is quite
It's not that
cost
expensive.
efficient. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
retrofit cost?
Yeah.
Mhm. But then there's installation.
Yeah.
You know, you have to tie into the
Electrical.
sewer. And
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, and then
didn't think of
there's
that,
the
yeah.
electrical
Yeah.
as well, the hydro. So
Yeah.
that's what runs it up to that amount.
Yeah, that would make sense with even like the sewer and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they rent for? Like if you have you done any in the GTA or anything that we can look at? Can you
Right-
send us all the stuff so we can kind of promote it too? I'm just
Of
curious.
course,
This is
of course.
cool. I think this is cool, right? Like
so go to our
it's another
website.
option.
You'll be able to see, like, a lot of people have questions about this. So go to the website. You'll be able to see frequently asked questions. We actually have a model suite right now. So if you want on the website,
Caledon, is that in Caledon?
it's out in Caledon.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. Did you take some pictures? I'm not sure if you
Which
took pictures.
road
but-
is it on? Church?
Yeah, it's on Old Church Road.
Nice.
What's
It's a great
what's
road.
the most asked question that is given to you?
For garden suites, everyone wants to know if it's allowed.
That's the main question.
That's the main question. If it's allowed, like you could do what? I could put this where? Like, and I'm like, yeah, you're allowed to put this in your backyard now.
And you can obviously supply the documentation for this stuff.
Yeah. So it's just a simple permit that you could go to your city, and then the city will allow you to. You just call the city to find out if you're allowed to do it, and then our containers are CSA approved, and as well
What's CSA?
Canada Standards
Association?
Yeah, association. Yeah. So when you apply to the city, to the municipality, We just give you a floor plan, and then it's stamped by an architect, and then they will allow you to put it in. Yeah.
What are they renting for? Have you guys?
Yeah, it depends on the area. So, okay, so if you compare it to like a basement apartment or even a condo, a one bedroom is going for like $2,700, right? So this is on its own. Sorry about that. It's a separate unit. So you could probably get about 28. I mean, sorry, you could get 2,000, 2,200 easily. A little bit of square foot, yeah, yeah. But you're detached and it's private. So when you compare it to those two, you know, you could get about 2,000.
And you could even go
2,500.
bigger. You're saying like 250 is just like a smaller unit. Like
Yeah.
you could probably stack 3 of them together.
You could.
Could you stack them one on top of each other?
Yeah, you can.
Two-story?
So the issue with stacking them is that you have to make sure that this like the additional dwelling unit that you put can't be bigger than the main unit, and also the height. The height of it can't be taller than the main unit.
Yeah, but if it's a 2 stories, you're
Yeah,
about
so then you're good.
25 to 30 feet.
Yeah, then
So you can
okay.
stack 2 in
But
the
if it was a
back.
bungalow, you couldn't do it. But yeah,
What do you? Cause so I'm just thinking myself. I'm a neighbor, and my
Yeah.
neighbor is gonna stack 2 of these bins. I'd be pissed. I gotta be honest.
so the thing is, in Toronto, like the laneways, they'll go up 2 floors,
Yeah.
right? So that's already there. But I mean, you might be pissed. So what they'll do, they will look at whether or not it makes sense for it to go in that area, and if the city says it makes sense, then
Then,
you're
yeah,
not
you
gonna have an
can't.
issue.
As a neighbor, you can't do anything.
You can't
right?
do anything.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you see two
Yeah,
thing,
but then they can
storage
get a
containers in your
petition,
back-
can't they? And a neighborhood petition or something to say, well, what the hell? What are we going to do with this thing in our
No, but
neighborhood?
if they passed it legally, but if for aesthetically, can we change the aesthetics of it on the exterior? Like
Yeah.
Like cladding, I think.
like a stucco cladding.
Yeah.
Because if it was like wrapped or something, I'm more and more about aesthetics, right? Because I mean, someone's gonna put a big shed or whatever. It's the same shit.
Yeah,
But
and that
imagine if
was
you see
another
2
issue.
storage containers. You know, they're gonna paint them black or whatever. They'll look decent, but,
but
I mean,
but decent. Oh, hold on. It's a storage container,
yeah.
right? Am I the only one? Like it's a storage container.
Well, you could change the exterior. It doesn't have to look
Now,
like.
how much
because-
additional funding
Corrugate.
would that cost to change the exterior?
Yeah,
It depends. It depends.
depends
It
the size of the unit.
Yeah, it depends on the
I
size.
don't know
of
if
the
I'm sold on this thing. I mean, it's difficult to pitch to someone because it's a brand new thing. So you would have to eventually convince people to say it can be done. You're going to get maybe some backlash, but it can be done.
Of course, it doesn't have to be like 2 stories either. If it's just a 1 story and it's behind your main property, most people might not even see it. So you could also provide fencing, and then you do enough fencing, you create privacy. Then you're not going to even see.
But that'll
there's
be an
a-
issue whether it's a container
Regardless.
house or
because you
or
don't
a
see it from the front.
slab on
I wonder
grade.
what the property tax would be.
The property tax will go up just like when you do your
Do you
basement.
finish
Yeah,
your basement.
Yeah, it's
But
the
even
same.
like so again, it'd be easy to like hardy board the exterior or do something.
Exactly.
It's not
yeah,
a
and then you
No.
could
Yeah.
you could do it so it matches the front of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Stucco, you can stucco
same.
it,
Yeah, you can
sure.
stucco
Yeah.
it.
You could almost make
side
it look like a big shed.
Yeah.
You can make it look like a big shed, and then
yeah.
people just think it's just a shed back
I
there.
actually think because they're square and more modern,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get like those nice lines where you can put like the ACM panel or something where
Yeah.
you just adapt to the modern look.
Yeah. And then the roofing, you could do like a slope on the roof, so it kind of matches with the front.
Ah,
you know what I
okay.
mean? So there's a lot you
So,
can do.
so
design-wise.
if you have a home that's an investment property, and you rent that out to tenants, essentially this could be
Another
an
unit.
additional income.
An
course.
additional income, and that's why we're finding a lot of people that are putting these things in. That's what they're doing it for. So right now we're targeting investors, people that are currently renting a property, to say, hey, look, you want to
Generate more income.
It makes
We
more,
can
it
put
makes sense.
we can
Very
put more of
interesting.
So you're
these back
300
there.
a foot. What's the square footage? 250.
Yeah, about 250.
So 75 grand. Is that what it works
Yeah.
out to? So 75,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not
No.
bad at all.
Yeah.
No, and then there's the installation that you have to add to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Install for like the crane to pop it in
Yeah,
and all
to
that.
put the crane in,
The
Another
crane
10,000?
plus the
water,
The water, sewer.
and hydro.
15,000.
and the hydro.
15, 20 grand.
30.
So 100 G's total, and you
Yeah.
built yourself a garden suite. That's not bad.
No.
If, even that property that I just sold, duplex, if we still had like a little bit of land off the back,
you coulda
do
did that.
the
Yeah.
triple tenant, the
Forklights.
solar panel on the top,
Yeah.
and you stack a fucking
A container in there.
the neighbor
That's
with the boat. I think I'd be getting a hit. It's gonna be
But
an
what's gonna
assassination
that's what's
attempt on
gonna
my
start
life.
happening, right? It's
But-
it's gonna start happening once we open Greenbelt and start building quickly.
Yeah.
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 Should we send the message to Parliament and make sure
Maybe.
that they open it up? They don't understand.
This is coming down the pipeline. This is the next
So,
big thing.
but you see how we're like, these are the questions that you're going to be asked daily.
Yep.
Because we're laughing about it, but essentially these are the questions.
Of course. Yeah.
So now what happens if you're not allowed to sub rent your home, right?
So what do you mean?
In most areas, you either rent out the
Subdivide?
whole house, or just the basement, or just the top. You can't
No,
do.
you could.
you can rent it
Yeah.
out.
Can
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
In
You
Brampton,
can,
I
you
don't
can.
think you can.
Yeah.
You can. If
We
it's
do it all the time.
if they're individual units, you could rent them out.
Yeah.
So this now becomes another rental income. So you would be able to rent this out as well.
We're going to a renter society, Stefano. Accept it.
Looks like you're right.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Ready Player One, baby.
Ready Player One.
Roy's gonna be here trying to sell us one. Then after he's gonna sell us a condominium of them.
Yeah, 100%.
They're all stacked up like
So
like
you-
Jenga blocks.
They actually,
There you
you guys
go.
have a like a subdivision that you guys are kind of putting together.
Yeah, so you saw that
Maybe
from our
talk a
website.
talk a
Yeah,
little bit about
of
that.
course, of course. So out there, my partner, he has 10 acres out in Timmins.
Okay.
So out in Timmins, there's an area called Frederick House Lake, right adjoining Timmins. So we have 10 acres out there on the water. So we're trying to put about 40 units out there right now, where people come out and they'll have their own container. Well,
It's like
call
like
them
cottage
container, but
property
yeah.
or full time on.
It'll be full time, 4 seasons.
It's just gonna be like kind of like a trailer park, but like higher end,
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Glorified trailer park.
all year
So,
round.
That's
Like you
right.
live there.
Yeah.
That'll do well, I think. to
I
be honest.
agree. I think so.
What do you think
Yeah,
you
but-
sell per unit?
So we're going to be
You can lease
leased
the
to own.
land.
We're going to lease the loan, own,
Oh,
right? So
nice.
yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
about for 1,500. No, yeah, not 1,500. Yeah, 1,500 a month
Per
'Cause-
unit.
Yeah, per unit.
And when they finally own it?
20 years,
Nice. It's
yeah.
good, just a good tenant.
How many units?
40.
It's not bad. Let's do the calculation.
Yeah.
I have Jewish blood in me, right?
Yeah,
This is like
This is the nerd.
No.
this is, I always
20
pull up the
years,
calculator.
$1,500 at
Yeah.
40 units.
What is it? 1,500?
Times 40?
By 20 years.
Yeah.
60K per property, right?
Yeah.
40 by 40. It's 2.4 million. Just and that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Per,
man.
per
I-
year.
Mhm.
Per year.
No, that's what is that?
Total.
Total.
That's
Oh,
total.
sorry. That is wait. Sorry,
is
my
per
bad.
year.
Oh, per
That's
year.
Yeah, that's
Per
that's
year.
per
Your
year.
producer's listening. Come on here.
There you go. That's pretty good.
That's
That's
good. It's
pretty
good money.
crazy.
Let's buy 10 acres and throw some container houses.
Yeah, that's
Do
pretty.
we
cool.
have a guy that can help us out with that?
Yeah. We're good.
So
Well, I think it makes the most sense.
Do they
'cause-
lease the land after? The land is always going to be leased, or they own partial?
Yeah, no, they will own the land.
Oh,
So
so
you're
you're
going to make it to subdivision, proper
Yeah.
subdivision.
so you're
Yeah.
not gonna always own it. You're gonna give them the option, or do they have the option right away to own it?
At the end of the 20 years, they'll have the option to own it.
But for those 20 years, you own it.
We own it, correct.
Wow, this is starting to
Makes sense.
wild. Mike, it's a renter's world, right?
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is.
So 1,500 a month
Correct.
doesn't include
So it's
the
18,000 per
utilities, all that,
property.
right?
Times 4.
Utilities
Well, 720,
would be extra.
720,000 a year.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Times that by 20.
Yeah. And then compound, yeah, it's 14.4 million in 20 years. Nice money. And I'm sure some people will default. You'll take some of the properties back.
Yeah, and then we'll just put a tenant in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
that's a good thing about
Yeah.
lease to own.
Yeah.
So now what now the initial cost is about 100. Right? Is that I'm following
It
along?
depends on size, but
Well,
yeah.
on
depends.
average,
Probably
on
on
average.
Yep.
It's about 100,000.
About 100 to 150.
Shit, I
yeah.
wish I brought my laptop. I can look at this stuff in real time.
Well, I can look at it. What do you want me to look at?
No, I just while we're talking, right? But that's cool. Yeah, it's interesting because then even if you're doing a little subdivision, you can offer different styles. The
Yeah,
duplex
different styles,
version,
yep.
like the top and bottom.
But now this is Timmins, Ontario.
It's about 7 hours from here, yeah.
So now the problem is, what about if we're coming in 2 hours away? Let's say we go to Barrie. Let's say we go to Innisfil. You can't still charge 100,000.
We price it differently based off of the area because obviously the land's gonna be more, so it'll be priced differently.
So what kind of clientele you think you're going to go to Timmins? Like what kind of
People out there, a
demographic,
lot
what
of people
kind
are
of-
looking for rental. A lot of people are looking for space out
somewhere
there.
to live?
Yeah, for someone to
is it
live.
someone like a secondary property or someone?
It would be
to live?
primary property.
Primary.
So people that are like like older people maybe,
Yeah.
older demographics.
Instead of having a manufactured home, then you just do like a That's cool.
Yeah.
You have like a small little community, like a pool and all that stuff. You're gonna do something like that.
We might,
Yeah,
we
like
might.
some
Depends.
amenities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have some amenities for sure.
I got a question. How are you, man, dude? You came to the wrong podcast. How are you gonna deal with like the Elon Musks that want to create the small little homes or
I mean,
Mattamy?
you know what? I'm hoping just the fact that we're first to the market will allow us to get there. But I mean,
capitalize the market
to
first.
capitalize on it, right? But if people have money and they want to throw a bunch of money at it, it's gonna be hard to compete against that. But just getting the exposure, letting people know that Royal Garden Suite Homes, this is what we do. We're
Because
passionate
essentially
about it.
you're by yourself. There's you don't have a competitor yet,
Well, there's some people that are doing similar,
but not at your level.
not at our level, and we're all doing it differently. You know what I mean?
So are you gonna try to move as fast as you can right now?
100%. That's the
That's
goal.
why he's here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're on
I'm
Real Estate
from-
on Record.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm from you guys and trying to get the word out as much as possible.
What do you think about this, Steve? As far as an investor's point of view goes,
It's good. I think it's good. I don't like it. I don't want it in the seat of my backyard. I got to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
If I was
No
a
worries.
neighbor,
No
but I
worries.
think it's obviously gives a lot of people options, right? To create extra income, it's creating extra space. Obviously, we have issue with supply in Canada, not only here but even US. So it definitely you're maximizing the space, right? So also it's creating a different lifestyle too, right? Like for you, it's just everyone's trying to eke out a living and survive. So this is another opportunity to kind of like, beat the system in a sense where you can put extra money in your pocket per month and kind of stay afloat in today's society in a sense. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good option, right?
Okay, let me ask
Yeah.
you something. If you did not see it or did not know that there was another residence in your backyard, would you do it?
What do you mean? Would
Like,
I do it?
yeah,
No,
if
I
you
wouldn't do it. For me personally.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I see the attraction for it.
As
Yeah.
an investor, like it depends.
An
Not your-
investor,
not-
yeah.
Not your
I didn't-
personal
not
residence.
my personal,
but,
yeah.
But your rental,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah, you'd want to do it.
like an
Yeah.
investment property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, an investment property, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I am more appealed to like the actual neighborhood, the subdivision in volume, right? I think that's where it's going to be in numbers, obviously, right?
Yep.
I think that's where.
So you're
it will
looking at
take off.
like the whole setup of
The whole setup,
the
like-
40 units and all that.
Yeah, I think that's more appealing than the one-offs, right? Because you're going to multiply numbers a lot quicker than the one in your backyard. But if you have that opportunity in your backyard, obviously it's going to work.
When was this passed?
2
And
years ago.
yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
Garden suites were allowed, but laneways were allowed about 4 years before that.
Yeah, I'd like to come out and check out that unit just for
Yeah, of course,
for
man.
curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open right now.
Oh, is it?
You can just go in. Mike just drew by. He went and
Today or
saw it.
tomorrow? I don't know. We'll figure it. Yeah.
Tell me, what's the website? What's your Instagram? All that.
Yep. The website is www.royalgardensuitehomes.com. And the website, or sorry, the email address, you could just the same at gmail.com.
And Instagram is?
At Royal Garden Suite Homes is our handle.
Good,
Royal
good,
Garden
good,
Suite.
good.
Nice. I'm gonna follow you now.
Mike, where can we find the all-stars of Real Estate on Record?
You can find us on Instagram at Mike Gaddy. You can find Steve.
You find me here, whatever you're watching.
Steve, we can find him at Steve Zelenardo.
At Steve Zolanardo.
Okay, and phone number?
647-294-3475.
And we'll see them next episode.
Oh, here it is.
Can I give you my number? So give us
Yeah,
a call.
yeah.
Yeah, we have a vanity number. So we consider ourselves to be the best. So give us a call at 647-494-BEST. Right? And that's 2378.
Good. We're going to
Here.
cut it right here, but that's ballsy, dude.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live